So it's time to start. Hello and welcome everyone. And thank you for coming today in this sunny and nice morning to our session. I hope you are full of energy and ready to bring it here today to our session. My name is Anna Lifanova and I'm going to moderate this roundtable. And today we have a very interesting and important topic, which is how business analysts, delivery managers, product managers, and UX designers work and collaborate together. And before we start, let me first introduce you the rules of our session today. So the rule number one, all of you have a live chat here in Teams where you can post your questions, but please, one important comment. Here in conference, we have a contest for the best question, and we will reward the winners. So make sure that if you would like to participate in this contest, do not forget to add your name and make sure you're not posting the question anonymously. Rule number two is voting. Please, the rules, rule number two is voting. Please vote for the questions by pressing on thumb up. And the most popular and the most voted questions will be answered by our experts. So to sum it up, two rules. Write your questions, do not forget about your name, and vote for your questions. And the next thing, last but not least, let me introduce you our nice group of super experienced professionals, our experts, who are ready today to share their experience with you and to answer your questions. And now I'll pass the floor to them, so they're ready to introduce themselves. Olga Golubina, Chief Business Analyst. Olga, please.
Hello, thank you, Anya. Hello, everyone. My name is Olga. I'm a Chief Business Analyst in IPAM, Netherlands. Originally, I'm from Russia, Moscow, but last 3.5 years I live and work in Europe. I have more than 15 years work experience in IT, playing different roles on the projects, but always striving being closer to the business, to listen to their needs, and together with the team find great customer-driven solutions. So I'm very happy to be here today to share my experience and to answer your questions.
All right. Next expert is Marina Volotsky, Business Analyst Manager. Marina, please.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Good morning, colleagues. My name is Marina. I'm a business analyst manager. I'm head of business analysis in IPAM, Belarus. In terms of IT experience, it is more than 10 years, and it was quite a long path. I played different roles, not only business analyst, I was technical writer, delivery manager, spent lots of my time within resource management activities. Nowadays, I'm one of the people who are driving business analysis competency in IPAM, Belarus, and always in very close collaboration with our clients, landing new projects and new opportunities. And the question of product manager, delivery manager, business analyst, and of course, user experience people are on my plate on daily basis. So I do hope that today's conversation will be very interesting for all of us. Anna?
Thank you, Marina. Irina, you're the next.
Hi, everyone. So welcome to our session. First of all, you probably heard this name a couple of times through the course of this couple of days. So I'm a senior product manager, staying with IPAM for about 12 years. During this time, I had the chance to work in different countries and basically played completely different roles. Initially, I started as a Java developer that moved to business analysis area, and now I'm product manager, as you already know. So today, I'm going to provide some insights into the product management competency development at IPAM, and basically because this is the practice, this is the competency that we are building within the company today. We do need to have a lot of interactions with all of the roles which were historically well established for every client and for every customer. And with that, I'm expecting to have really exciting conversations where those boundaries are between all these different roles. Anna?
Thank you, Irina. Thank you very much. And the next expert is Mikhail Sidorenko, Associate Director from Experience Design Practice. Michael?
Yeah, hi, everyone. It's nice to be here, first of all. So my name is Mikhail Sidorenko. I'm Associate Director of Experience Design. And at the moment, I'm responsible of development and managing EPAM East Ukraine unit, which is Kharkov and Dnipro cities. So I have Nelson Norman Group certification in the area of UX management specialty. Work with different customers, verticals, and different businesses, even like fixing revenue leakage. So yeah, thanks. It's nice to be here. Anna.
Thank you, Mikhail. Then we have Brahman Sakharov, Senior Business Analyst Manager. Brahman.
Yeah. Hi, guys. It's nice to see you here today. Welcome again. So I'm Senior Business Analysis Manager in Ukraine, and actually also helping to build our business analysis practice globally. So helping with different trainings, consulting, and everything that happens around that. So also like helping to hire a lot of business analysts and to to solve different conflicts which are happening on the project in our competencies. So I'm able to share my experience in that direction and how to best organize business analysts work along with other roles like, again, product manager, UX designers, or delivery managers, because this is almost day-to-day job which we do. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman. And the next expert is Yuri Yurkov, our delivery manager. Yuri, please.
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. Indeed, I'm a delivery manager with a 10+ years experience working in different engagements. And these days, I'm also a delivery supervisor in BY for a group of accounts from Europe, which gives me a great opportunity to oversee different examples of, again, communication and work between these groups. And from other side, I'm also a product manager of a Teams model, which is a part of EPAM delivery toolset, focused on productivity and people management. So I actually can really compare how both roles, like delivery manager and product manager, cooperate together in different setups. Thank you. Anna.
Thank you, Yuri. So we finished with the introduction, and now we are really ready to start. So, dear listeners, dear audience, please start writing your questions and voting. And while you are doing so, I will ask my first question that we are very often receive from our clients. Why do we need a business analyst on a project if we already have a UX designer? And vice versa, why do we need a UX designer if we already have a business analyst in our team? I believe that Mikhail is one of the best people to step in here.
Yeah, thanks. It's really a great question. I saw a lot of cases like that. So, and I think that the problem usually came from a low level of UX PA maturity of client organizations. So they are not clearly understand what the roles and responsibilities. So, and from one side, it's a challenge to explain and build all that stuff. But from other side, it's also opportunity, because if the maturity of client organization is pretty high, it will be really hard to change everything. So you will be just follow the processes that already defined in that organization. So like we know that good UX guy can cover a BA work, but like we need to understand clearly risks of this approach, and we need to have clear answers like how big is this project? These estimations or pre-discovery was done in the right way. So because for a small project, it may work, but not for the big ones, obviously. And we know that these roles are like complement to each other. So the main goal here is to explain the client like differences, and that like BA guy, while BA guy will focus on requirement, UX guy can focus on creating real experience for the users. So I think that that's the answer.
Thank you, Mikhail. And we have the next expert, Olga, who is from Business Analyst practice. Olga, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with Mikhail, actually, because to be honest, I haven't heard such a question in my practice, because always there was a work for UX design and BA on the projects, starting from the very beginning, from the discovery. UX designers together with BA solicit business needs, draw business model canvas, including value proposition, defines personas, their journeys, and the backlog. And during the implementation, BAs help to to UX designers to understand the out-of-the-box capabilities of the platform, existing capabilities, and then so that they reveal a lot of various business cases that was being covered by the designs. And altogether, it streamlines the process and decreases one of the most important KPI, time to market. And answering on the second part of your question, yes, for small projects, for small products that are only for internal usage probably, and for only a small number of people, then probably BA is capable to cover UX as well. But of course, UX designers and BAs have different skill sets, different mindset. So I think that it's really crucial to have both these roles on the projects.
All right, thank you, Olga. Marina, do you have any other opinion on this?
Actually, I'm one of the persons who usually answer this question not only to the clients, but also to our people. Because, you know, from one side, it is very important, crucial question for client, why actually I do need that many roles. And this is one part of the answer where actually Olga and Mikhail gave already pretty detailed answer. How I usually explain it to the clients, we are covering two sides without which it is simply impossible to build proper product. Because business analyst, this is the person who tries to resolve business need, understand actually why your business needs this particular functionality, and is it required at all. From the other side, user experience guy is a person who can make perfect look and feel, perfect user experience, so that if this product is really useful for your business, your clients will love it and will use it more and more. So that's the synergy which should be built between business analyst and user experience designer. From the other side, there is always a tricky thing when BA and UX designer starts working on the project from the very beginning. As Olga said, that's perfect case when they understand their roles by default. From the other side, it usually happens that there's slight misunderstanding when both of them come to like first meeting to the client, start asking questions, and both just don't understand. Why UX guy asking my question? Why BE guy is asking my question? But I guess that's a separate topic which we will be able to cover during today's conversation a little bit later, because it's quite a long discussion.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Marina. Then I have the next question that is also interrelated with the previous one. Where is the separation between UX designer and the product manager? I believe that we can address it to Irina.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, so let me start here. So first of all, let me mention that from my personal point of view, and I'm sure that Mikhail can make an adjustment over here. UX designer, this is the guy, this is the person who actually cares about the user experience, and basically this is the person who has really deep knowledge on the user behavior and expectations, and what does it mean to build the product that customers love. Actually, product manager worries about the same thing. Every product manager would like to create a product that customers do love, but at the same time, product manager is also the person who worries about the shipping the product, who worries about the delivering product. And when I'm saying delivering, it doesn't mean that it includes only the development phase or like software part of that, meaning is has to be completely delivered to the end user, usable, including all of the services around that, like what are you going to do if the particular product does not work, how you're going to escalate that, how you are going to report on that. So all of that, establishing all of these processes and supporting all of that and orchestrating all of these activities, that's one of the major roles for product manager. And of course, UX designer still can be involved in that and still can define the service design as the whole thing. But at the end of the day, it's product manager responsibility to make sure that all of that is well orchestrated, all of that is well established, and the entire organization knows all the needed details about the product in order to successfully fulfill this particular department responsibilities.
Yeah, I would like to add probably a couple of thoughts here again on top of Irina. Again, as I would like again to emphasize that product manager's role is to orchestrate, basically to coordinate the activities from multiple departments. Again, that can be partially UX, that can be marketing department, that can be again a development department or any other department which is required for your product to be developed. So, but in terms of user experience design, there is also a separate like thread and interesting thing I would like to highlight that actually there is a collaboration between UXers and product managers in terms also of product metrics, which we are receiving from the example from the production, where our product is already live. And actually, product managers should share those insights which we are getting from production with UX designers. So they not only understand how our product works from the perspective of their information model or user model, but how actually the feedback from the live product works out, right? Whether those concepts and suggestions are really working. And usually because a product manager is responsible for product metrics, he is the one who should share this information with the other parts of the team. So that's again from more experience and how I've seen it works. However, you can also have the marketing department or other people also watching that like metrics or parameters shared for the other teams. Thanks.
Thank you, Roman. Mikhail, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I'd like to add a couple of things. So that's really tricky question, right? And I would say that product manager is somewhere on level UX lead or UX director. Yeah, like who is this guy, right? It's experienced manager who can manage stakeholders in a proper way and a team in a proper way, who know the workshops, techniques, can facilitate them, but also he is responsible on delivery. So like UX director can take this role. Like more like low level UX designer probably will be focused on creating the experiences. So that's my opinion on that.
Thank you, Mikhail. I am just looking into chat and we have quite a bunch of questions already. And one of the most interesting and popular question is the product owner role a bridge to pass from business analyst to a product management role? Who is ready to answer?
So let me start answering this one, and I'm going to share the perspective that we have here internally at EPAM. So despite the fact that actually product owner is the position that you can be hired for these days, and you would see job postings that are done these days for the product owner. At EPAM, we still treat product owner being a role that can be fulfilled, that can be executed by people with a different background and with the different competency. To some extent, that is similar to the Scrum Master role, which can be played not exactly by the person who is Scrum Master and cannot do any other job within the team. So similar to the Scrum Master role, basically product owner is the role for us. And in our reality, most of their higher level and more skilled business analysts, because they are becoming more experienced and because they are becoming more and more skilled, they are transitioning to become a proxy product owner role, to take the proxy product owner role. And the reason why it's happening, because as you work with the client, as you work with the particular team, with a particular product team, you get more and more trust and knowledge about the client base, about the particular product, and so on. So this transition is happening slightly, it's happening slowly, but it does happen for the most experienced BAs. And from being a proxy product owner role, with gaining more trust, you actually can quite easily become a product owner. And with having such experience, later you can transform yourself to become a product manager. So to some extent, yes, this is their transition. This is the path which you can take. But what I would like to mention here is that having an experience and having a background of fulfilling product owner role is absolutely required in my mind to be successful product manager, but that is not enough, because product manager, that's the a little bit wider list of responsibilities and activities that are expected from a particular person. And the way how we actually position that, in order to make this transformation from being a product owner to become a product manager, you actually need to get a little bit more insights into the company strategy, into the product strategy. You need to be more involved in the roadmap prioritization. You need to be more involved in the business aspects, defining priorities and business priorities for a product. And also, of course, you need to be really close with your end users, with your clients, with your customers, by making sure that you do listen to their feedback, making sure that you do incorporate all of this feedback, making sure that you have a clear understanding, and what's even more important, you have the experience of tracking the success of your product and at least knowing the definition of this success and so on. So being a product owner, that is absolutely, again, required but not enough, because to us, product owner, this is a role that actually exists within this development phase, and product manager stays with the product for other phases, a part of the development. Anna?
Yeah, if I may add a couple of thoughts here, again, regarding what, again, Irina mentioned, that pretty much covers how basically you can transition, as a product owner to the product manager role. Just maybe a couple caveats from the market, how it looks like. So basically, we are now seeing a spike in the market for the product ownership roles. So which is, again, a good sign for product management roles as well, because more clients, and more organizations are actually ready to talk about, product management or product ownership from the team who is actually developing the product. So this is, again, shows this trend in the direction that, owning the product is becoming also the development team responsibility. And when we are talking about service organizations such as EPAM, again, this is also a sign for us that we need to take more responsibility in product development for our clients as well. So, which is good. But again, emphasizing a possible pitfall, which Irina mentioned here, right? What we see also, like internally sometimes, and sometimes, when we are like conducting some external trainings. So the problem here is people are very much, confident when they are becoming product owners, that they are really, really close to the product management. And as again already said by Irina, this is not, one-to-one similarity, right? So basically, to become a product manager, a real product manager, you really need to expand more your understanding and more your even skills additionally by reading literature, by understanding the whole amount of knowledge base which happens for product management. Yeah, thanks you. Back to Anna.
Thank you, Roman. So I'm just reviewing our chat, and there is another very hard and interesting question. It sounds, what is the difference between delivery manager and product manager? I believe we have the right person to answer this question here. It's Yuri. Yuri, please.
Yeah, hi guys. Well, let me try. Indeed, that's a good question. Originally, I think that a couple years ago, we actually started to build this competency like a delivery manager. And originally, it was a kind of universal soldier who was able to do everything, right? He was able to build a team, build a solution, propose some products improvement, and so on, so on. And in some kind, it was kind of an entrepreneur as well, who can find a way how to build something better. Last couple of years, we also started to cultivate this product management competency, and I think the difference is still exists, because product manager, in my mind, is a person who primarily focused on the direction of the product, where delivery actually what to do, right? But the delivery manager still is a person who helped to build it and to answer the question how to do it. Primary role of delivery manager still in most of our engagement is to support support our client and product management team to find the right solution, to again build a team, prepare some proposals, and so on, where product managers define where to go. Good news that most of our delivery managers grow together with our clients, and most of them has experience in some domains they work with, whatever it is, like telecom, commerce, and so on. And after some time, after some engagement they are able also to contribute to product. And I have some examples even from my practice where our delivery managers were skilled enough in some questions and some topics where they were able to suggest to product owners, product managers on client side, how to improve, how to do it better. This way, again, regional distance is getting close, I would say, right now, and delivery managers and product managers indeed works very close together in very close collaboration. So I think that's the right way to go this now.
Oh, Yuri, thank you for such a detailed answer. Anyone else, colleagues, do you have any other opinions?
Probably I can add some thoughts, or
yes, please, Marina.
Just agree with what you already said, because when we are talking about product management, we are mostly talking about what actually we should release so that it can be problematic on the market, it can satisfy business needs. When we talk about the delivery management as a discipline and delivery manager as a role, we are talking more about how actually we are going to come to this particular goal. So we're in a position when we are combining what and why we should do with how we should get to this final point. But as Yuri fairly mentioned, these are two roles coming closer to each other, because you cannot truly and deeply understand what and why without understanding how we are getting there. That's why product managers do need to understand how delivery is built. From the other side, the same thing. Delivery manager must truly and deeply understand what the product is about, and actually why clients, businesses, and users need this product, so that delivery manager can build this way from the very first line of code to the delivery to production in a proper way. Anna, back to you.
Thank you, Marina. Anyone else, colleagues? Any other comments here?
Yeah, I also would like to add, on top of what already was said, that business analyst also helps to delivery manager with RASI matrix creation, and also with the way of working definition, and having business process modeling skills. He helps to draw the way of working, in a kind of a business process diagram, who does what, when, and so on. And also business analyst helps to product manager with the priorities, because he understands dependencies, he understands technical dependencies, and he creates the functional decomposition of business feature, so that team is able to provide the estimations, and based on the job size and their technical dependencies, finally product manager is capable to define the final priorities. Anna?
Thank you, Olga. Thank you for such a detailed answer. Let me quickly look into our chat. I see we have one interesting question about UX and BA practice. So why do our clients misunderstanding the different role, for example, BA, UX, and others, and how to present the value and outcomes from each role? So who can start?
I can answer on this one.
Okay,
so,
Michael, please.
Yeah, I believe it's pretty close to the first question that we already covered, right? It's misunderstanding was probably because of level of maturity of organization, because they probably don't have these roles in there, or maybe they're just on the really early stage. How to present the value is better to try to transfer this to money, let's say. right? So because clients sometimes do not understand that the value if you're trying to explain the processes itself, but if you try to explain that, like fix any issue or mistake on the prototyping stage will be cost like 100 times less than after product will be fully released. So that's the point. Maybe anyone can add also here.
Thank you, Michael. Anyone else, colleagues? Do you have other opinions?
I probably can just totally agree with Michael, because our clients, they always think in numbers. And what I usually advise our BAs, our product owners, is that you must talk to clients on the language of numbers, because they understand when they lose and when they gain. And that's the best possible option to persuade them that they need this or that particular role or this or that particular activities to be done. In addition, why they're, again, adding to the point, why they are mixing the roles, usually, and again, totally agree with Michael, or when our clients are just moving from startup-like level of organization, when each person can play quite different set of roles, they don't see these boundaries between the roles. While we being here at EPAM for already 25 years within the software engineering, we clearly see this difference. And for us, it is like obvious what's the difference between business analyst and user experience specialist. While in the organization which are just growing in software engineering, or which are quite far from the software engineering, they might be simply product organizations, these roles are really not obvious. It's, again, adding to Michael, absolutely agree, it's the question of maturity and experience spent within the industry. Anna, back to you.
Thank you, Marina. Sure. So what we have in our chat, our next question is, what is the major difference between product owner and product manager? Is the product manager manages all the product owners? Then who is business owner, requirement owner, or sponsor? We need the clear information on this role and their hierarchy. Roman, what do you think about it?
So basically, I think that in terms of, it depends on the framework you're using. But if we are saying, for example, about the scaled agile framework, in this case, like there is a direct subordination when we consider that the product owner is under direct subordination of the product manager. So, and that works quite well usually for such setups. There is no issue. So that's kind of a method of scaling the work. Yeah, basically in general. Yeah, sorry guys, I'll need to switch to another.
Okay, so let me probably step in here for a second while Roma is figuring out the details. Okay, so basically the way how we see it, we do see product manager as the person who does work with product owners directly, and to the certain point manages those. Actually, one probably important note over here that we don't see that as a subordination. So it's not like product owner does reporting to the product manager. It's rather a teamwork with the leader on that. And again, it's not the kind of their manager or subordinate relationships between those. But yeah, to the extent product manager is a team lead for product owners. If we are talking about the business owners and sponsors and so on, that is being figured out and established based on the particular setup and based on the particular terminology. We actually do see cases over here when business owner can be on the same horizontal level as product owner. Sometimes business owner is on the same level as sponsor, and basically this line would be above product manager. So kind of product manager would report back to sponsors on how the particular product is doing. So all of these roles and all of their reporting lines, if I may use it, such words over here, those are being established all based on the particular setup. the structure that we recommend, that we are building for most of our teams, it's actually product owner who is working on day-to-day basis with the delivery team, with the development team, who works with backlog on day-to-day basis, and product manager is the one who is responsible for more strategy-oriented questions, and also who is fulfilling the role of the person orchestrating the work with other departments as support, marketing, sales, and so on. And of course, it's a product manager who reports back to the top management in the company, including sponsors and so on. We often also receive a popular question: who is responsible for the interaction with the end users? Is it product owner, is it product manager, or is it UX or somebody else? And actually, there is no one right answer, or the answer that will work for everyone. Again, depending on the setup, it can be different people and different roles, but all of these roles absolutely should have very detailed insights into their target audience, into the customer base that a particular product has, and obviously should hear the constant feedback from those end users. And being a product manager myself, I can tell that sometimes it's just not possible to make sure that you would interact with your end users on day-to-day basis. But what actually you can do, you can talk to those people who do these interactions. So you're still getting the insights, although you're not spending time on that yourself. And absolutely, product owner should have those insights as well. I would say that for product manager and product owner, the main difference on those insights and knowing the customer, knowing the target audience would be the scale on which it's happening. And obviously for product owner, it's going to be much more detailed, but then more limited to a particular area. And I see we have Roma back here, so probably Roma can step in and continue.
Yeah, guys. Sorry, Anna, if we still have time for this question, because I'm seeing we also have other questions now. So yeah, just wanted to add on top.
I think you can continue if you have something to add.
Yeah, I just had a comment regarding the subordination, that really depends on the organization type you're having. Sometimes it's more collaborative work, sometimes it's really more subordination. So for my cases, for example, at the project I'm currently working, we have the direct subordination when the product manager is in our client side, and she's actually the owner of the product owners team. And she's actually like managing it, like setting tasks for them and controlling their work. But as again mentioned, that depends on how the process is built. But yeah, okay, let's move to the next question. If we still have some additional, flavors which we would like to add from the audience here. So guys, just ask question in chat so we can continue here as well.
Yeah, thank you, Roman. But I still would like to hear something from Mikhail. I think you also want to add something.
Yeah, thanks. Just 2 words to add. So when you're working with the product owner on the client side, one small but pretty important things to consider. So product owners can be technical and non-technical guys, and you need to treat them in totally different ways. So we saw that couple of cases like that. So like they can be like a visual guys, like even designers, right? So you need to show them like more visual stuff. And for the technical guys, it's in a totally opposite way. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Mikhail. And I see in our chat one really hard question that I would like to address to our experts. How would you behave if a designer takes active role in the discovery phase, trying to identify business needs in addition to the user needs, participate in tech discussions and interviews with end users and business people? What to do with that? Who is ready to start?
I guess that's one of my favorite topics.
Thank you, Marina. Go ahead.
So actually, first of all, what is like the primary thing before you start any kind of activities, before you join any kind of project, it doesn't matter in what role you are. You're a business analyst, you're a designer, you're a product owner, you're a delivery manager. The very first step in any role should be expectations check. When you state that, hey guys, that's my role and that's what you should expect from me. And check the same within the whole your team, especially it is very important on the discovery, because during the discovery phase, you must act as one team where you show that, okay, we're a company who represents 25 years of experience and we know how to do our job. You should really be a team, but not a set of people who try to figure out own questions and put down own notes. So first of all, check what is expected from you and explain what your team and your client should expect from you, what you can do, how you can be available within this particular setup. The second thing, despite the fact that we always have loads of these slight challenges between different roles, especially during the discovery setup, the one thing which we usually forget is that discovery is a huge chance for us to learn from each other. Recently, I had a project where I participated in as a BA with a very, very experienced UX designer. And, despite the fact that I do love leading the workshops, I enjoyed the way how she communicated with end users. And, yes, she was clarifying the business need, she was clarifying some technical details. But to me, I put down just a numerous number of notes and tricks how actually it is better to do the workshop and how it is better to question end users to get their real needs. So don't forget that first of all, we're a team, and in the second order, there is a room to learn from each other. I'm sure that Olga, who has huge experience in leading discoveries, can add something here. Olga.
I absolutely agree with you, Marina. Thank you so much. Really, you mentioned the main points about agreeing about the way of working beforehand. Yes, because despite the fact that we are all EPAMers, each new project, each new discovery, we are a new team, and we need to define who does what, not only for ourselves, but also for the customer, about their expectations and deliverables that they should expect from each role. And then when it is clear for us, then of course we can conduct sessions together, workshops together, and so on. But we will have a common list of questions, a common list of answers, and then BA will be more focused on the backlog, and UX designer will be more focused on the customer experience, customer journey. Thank you. Anna?
Thank you, Olga. Anyone else has something to add here?
Hi guys. I would probably want to add just a couple words really to support guys, because again, typically when we start some engagements, we don't have the luxury to have all the experts in one room. I mean, BA, specific dedicated BA, UX, solution architect, and so on. And it's always kind of a SWAT team of two guys, DM plus BA, DM plus UX, SA plus UX, who has to demonstrate all their expertise really. You need to understand from the first steps what client wants and so on, and only then when we grow, we add specialists for a particular topic. For example, if we need some UX broad experience, we add UX guy and so on. That's why again, at this stage, all these roles are kind of a T-shaped roles, and they have some knowledge in all areas where they can actually understand what client wants. That's critically important. That's why sometimes, again, that's absolutely norm that UX person specialized in UX can do some BA job and so on. And then again, when we grow, switch to specialization and so on. Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Yuri. I see the next question in our chat, which sounds, what does account manager do in all this setup? One additional role. So guys, who is ready to start here? Roman, maybe you?
Yeah, I might be able to add on top of this. Again, this is quite a quick question, guys. So account manager usually is a person, who works directly with the client and builds relationship on a business level. So this is a usual case for service organizations, so basically that happens always when you are kind of a vendor for your client and you have account manager on the client side who constantly communicates, agrees the rates, the contracts and stuff like that. So, and in this setup, when you have business analysts, UX designers, product managers, delivery managers working, the account manager is the person, who negotiates usually the terms with the help of the team, which I just mentioned. So he usually takes the input from the guys whom he's working with, to understand like whether we can commit to those deadlines which client is willing to get from us, whether we are fitting, our budgets within the cost of those professionals we are involving. So account manager here plays, more client-facing and administrative role of, nailing down the contract. So, and actually the rest of the team, product managers, delivery managers, UX designers, and BAs, they are kind of, helping him to shape it and to ensure that we are striking a win-win deal between the client and the vendor organization. So yeah, that's usually not a conflicting role in all this setup. So yeah, and I would say maybe here just a small comment that usually, of course, the delivery manager is the closest person, who helps account manager to finalize all these agreements. But still, depending on the setup, depending on the people who are you having on this current project phase, that might be, sometimes more business analyst work, sometimes more UX, sometimes more product manager. So yeah, that's briefly on that question. Hope that answers.
Thank you, Roman. Anyone else, colleagues? I believe everyone can add something. Irina?
So let me add to that. So basically, I'm going to share my experience from the product manager perspective. And, let's be honest, the higher you go in your position and the higher you go in the organization, the more you're involved in all the various politics and, unknown, undiscovered, untold things that you can see happening throughout the organization. And being a product manager, you obviously need to have good relationships with a number of other managers and a number of other departments, because you need to make sure that all of those people from those departments work together and the whole mechanism, the whole process is in place. If you are not successful with only one aspect of your product, you might fail the whole product. So if you're not successful with marketing, you might not get as many users as you would like to for your product. So from that perspective, account manager actually can be partner in discovering all of those politics that are going in the organization, and also you can work together on overcoming those. So yeah, Roma shared the perspective from the administrative part and negotiation part, but also there is this trust and partnership that should happen between any type of the manager on the project, on the product with account manager in order to be successful together.
Thank you, Irina. I believe that we answered most of the important things about this question. And I see one more interesting question in our chat, which is, how does UX designer differ from UX researcher and UX strategist? Is there a need for such specialists? And we have a great person to answer here. It's Mikhail. Please.
Yeah, thank you. So really great question. So the answer is like depending on, again, UX maturity of organization, because like most often UX guys is like Swiss Army knife, right? They can do like UX part of work, but we also have a lot of hybrid guys who can do also visual part of work. So when we have a pretty high level of processes and UX processes in organization, we can have allocated specifically UX researchers who do usability testing stuff, who work with the different metrics and all this stuff. So basically their job is to like create some specific reports and pass to UX designers who can like refine and change the product based on the research findings. So, and in this case, like one UX researcher can work for a couple of projects simultaneously, right? So moreover, if if client have specific UX lab, it will be even more complicated. They will have UX researchers, interviewers, observers, and other stuff. So more high level of maturity of organization, more these roles can be splitted on.
All right, thank you, Mikhail. And I think we still have a little bit of time for the last question. And let me check what we have in the chat. Yeah, the question about requirements. In case stakeholders ask for changing their requirements, for example, adding new features, sorry, chat is jumping from me. Just a moment. Yes, does BA consult with the development group first or decide at the place? What is the process that should take place at this kind of situation? How long does it take to get back to stakeholder with this decision? Who would like to start?
I can start here.
Okay,
so
Olga.
Of course, everything depends on the project and depends on the processes that I agreed on the project. So in my experience, for some customers, there was a change management procedure agreed. And so that when some change request appears, that it passed some steps before taking into the work. So we agreed, we first with development team looked into it. We provided some estimations, and only then business, based on the estimation provided, made a decision. Either we do it or not. On my current project, we do not have such a change management procedure and do not have change requests at all as an entity. So when a business comes to me and ask about some new feature, some new change, then if I'm depending on their questions, yeah. So if they ask about the efforts needed to implement it, of course, it's a question to dev team. So only they are capable to provide the estimates. So I do not do it by myself. But if they ask about some, consultation of how better to implement this feature, then of course I'm capable to answer that. I'm capable to consult them on that based on my knowledge of out-of-the-box capabilities of existing components and so on, and also customer best practices of customer experience. So taking all this into account, I consult them, and then we make this new feature, this high-level idea, more feasible, and then I consult with the dev team how long it will take to implement it, so that product manager will be able to take a final decision whether they want it or not. Anna?
Yes, thank you, Olga. And I think we also can ask Marina, maybe you would like to add something here.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. I really liked how the question was formulated. Should be consult with the development group first, and to my mind, no, because to be able to talk to the development team, you firstly need to do some research, because like you a BA, you must bring proper input to the development team. So you have quite a set of questions to ask to your client, small research to do as well, because if client introduces a change, of course, we're BAs. Yeah, our first question is why actually our dear client would like to introduce the change. Why our dear client you think that it is really crucial when we have 1 month before the release, we need to change 40% of everything we've already done so far. And that's something we usually face with. And before you get answers on these questions, before you conduct the research, before you understand the impact of the change, first of all, in terms of business, in terms of users, there's no need to talk to your development team. When you have all this information, of course, you must consult with the development team, because once you understood all the business side of the change, you do need to understand all the technical dependencies of the change, how it will affect the timeline, how it will affect our architecture, what are the changes it will bring to the whole product. it means that you're talking not only to the development team, you're also talking to your delivery manager, who is actually the owner of the release plan and who is the owner of the deadlines which you have. And when you get back to the client, you must have a set of options. Okay, if we accept the change, that's the set of risk you have, that's the set of shifts in the deadlines, teams, whatever we will do, and that's the result you will get at the very end. So you need to provide an options, but of course, as a person who composes these options, you already should know what is the best option, and then that's the question to your presentation skills, how you actually provide these options to your client so that the client is able to make proper decision and choose the right option from the list which you propose. Anna, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Marina. And I see that our time is running to the end. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your passion to share your experiences. Thank you for your enthusiasm during this session. It was super energetic. And I hope that our listeners now understand better differences between all the mentioned roles. And now they are ready to take it back into their projects and make a better performance. And last but not least, we didn't answer all of the questions that were posted on the chat, and we will review them carefully with our experts. And just look into the chat. I posted the link to the discussion to the discussion page for our roundtable. And on that discussion page, first of all, you will be able to find answers to the remaining questions. Second thing, that we will place their video recording after our session. And dear listeners, if you would like to continue the discussion, if you still feel that you have any other questions or comments that you would like to share, you can also use this page and to place any comments. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, dear experts, for sharing your invaluable experience with others. And I wish you all good luck and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
you.
Have a great day.
And
Thank
have
you.
a great day.